welcome to the Worth It podcast. Hi JD, you okay?
Yeah, I'm alright, how are you?
I'm good. Today we've actually got a little bit of an upgrade.
Oh,
Yay,
no.
New microphones. Isn't that brilliant? So previously we've actually been shooting
Can't
this
wait for
podcast.
these to go wrong.
No, they won't go wrong. It's all good. But previously we've been actually shooting this podcast with the Tascam DR60, which plugged into a Rode shotgun microphone. And what we did then is we basically had a stand for it in the middle, and we just spoke in general, like a round table kind of thing. And it worked. It worked for a little bit. It worked great. But now we've actually got the upgrade. We've got two new microphones, both XLR straight into the Tascam. So hopefully you get better all-round sound and all-round quality. Fingers crossed. Anyway.
Here's hoping. I can't wait to listen to this back. And
yeah, we've got to shoot that again.
Horrendous.
Sorry. No. In today's episode, we're going to debrief ourselves, talk a little bit about the film that released last week. We've also got 3 topics to talk about today, so that's really exciting. We're going to centre mainly around fan fiction, fan films, and video game narratives, and how they influence us, because it's kind of a major sidetrack to the filmmaking that we normally do. Because obviously we make very linear narratives that are themed around certain areas or topics or real world situations, so it kind of differs greatly from a lot of video game narratives and a lot of fan fiction stuff to like fantasy films or books or whatever. So that'll lead us on quite nicely to talking about a new website section that's going to be potentially opening on the Worth It website as well. So we'll talk a lot about that today, and we're also going to be talking about where do I want to start?
Yeah.
Oh, so I want to start actually talking about, I think, we've been talking quite a lot about video games in general recently because
we're addicts. We
yeah,
have a problem.
Video games are good. I mean, they're a nice escape from real life, I guess. I've always tended when I was younger to play more video games than watch TV. I always felt that going to a video game and playing with friends and stuff was more interesting than sitting down and watching a movie and stuff like that. It's only recently where I've actually got Odeon Limitless membership and stuff and actually gone out to the cinema and watched every new movie that's come out. I've gone and seen. I'm going to see Parasite tonight, of course.
Super should. It's a really good film.
And apparently, according to JD, and especially to do with last week's title, I need to go and see Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler.
Have you not seen it yet?
I've not seen it yet. It's been
You
a
need
week.
to go watch Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler.
I do.
Man's been robbed of an Oscar.
I do.
And I will not hear it otherwise.
So, I mean, what is really interesting is the fact that how much detail video game developers and publishers are putting into making their characters and making their world. So you get Battle Royale. It's very big at the moment.
Yeah.
Most video games are looking to have either a mode that's Battle Royale based, or they're looking to actually have Battle Royale as their main emphasis on the game. You get people like Apex Legends who only have Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Fortnite have a co-op version as well, Save the World.
Somewhere in the recesses of
Somewhere,
that game.
yeah, which is not really being played anymore. They're mainly emphasising themselves on the Battle Royale. You got Call of Duty, the older Call of Duty before this one that's come out.
Black Ops 4, was it?
Yes, that has a Battle Royale mode called Blackout. And there's rumours that there's a new Battle Royale coming to this Modern Warfare as well,
a new one.
which will be really exciting. I'd quite like to see that because the rumours especially are saying that the map is going to be monstrously big, like bigger than any map that Battle Royale's seen, which is an interesting concept. And then, of course, Battlefield 5 brought out Firestorm.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
Which was an interesting concept because, the actual circle was a firestorm, which is really cool. So there's a lot of emphasis on Battle Royale. And you'd normally think, well, 100 players drop into a map and fight to the death. There's a story involved in that. But the actual characters that they've created around the actual world of this is really interesting. You'll see like live events from Fortnite where, they're cracking open the earth to change maps.
Did you ever
stuff.
see the Wreck-It Ralph thing they did for a Fortnite?
No.
There were random screens in the game which would just have Wreck-It Ralph going, and it was just one time in everyone's game, just for one moment, like literally one singular moment where Wreck-It Ralph just goes across a screen somewhere in the game.
That's
and
brilliant.
a handful of people caught it on camera, and so I go, no, it's real, trust me.
That's really good.
In a promotion for the actual film.
That's well cool. It's just there's so much scope and potential that video game publishers can do. Live events. They had the Marshmallow concert, didn't they? Marshmallow did a full concert in a video game. People just signed in online, joined the solos game, and they disabled all the weapons so you could just watch the concert. That's ridiculous.
We live in a time where you can put on a headset or just turn on a console and, hey, let's go to a concert for free in this game.
It's just crazy. And that's that's online. That's PvP. That's the I guess the more competitive side of video gaming. Is also, of course, your single player games. Just recently Death Stranding launched, didn't it?
I'm really enjoying Death Stranding.
Yeah, and it's massively campaign based. It's massively story driven. Norman Reedus stars in it. And you think, these big high paid actors, what are you doing starring in a video game? Why would you do that? And then you look towards the actual production value of the video games themselves. Not only do they look fantastic, but the actual amount of effort that they've gone into making the cutscenes and stuff is insane. They all do mocap suit filming, where they bring the actor in, put all of the stickers all over them and make sure they're fully...
I would love to do that one day.
It's just fantastic, isn't it? In the massive blue room, and get the cameras on them and film them as their character. And I just think that's absolutely brilliant. The way in which they do the mechanics now for 3D games in a 3D world.
Look at Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Rami Malek he's spot on. You can tell it's Rami Malek within that game.
Yeah. And Mads Mikkelsen, is it as well? Plays the... No, it's not Mads Mikkelsen. What's his name?
Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah, okay. But there's so much there's so much scope that they can do as well with that. So obviously they've got you as a motion captured object or a person on screen in a blue environment. They can put you anywhere. They can do anything with you at all. And that's something that the film world kind of take as well and use it for their own. I don't know, was it you who was telling me about the Mandalorian series and how they now film it?
No,
or was it somebody else?
I haven't told you, because you told me about that over lunch.
Yes. So there's obviously they now use the 6K screens, the wrap screens that they can spawn in any environment in the world that they want to in this small square room to make it look like
which, to be fair, I think is genius.
Yeah, to make it look like you're in the middle of the jungle when you're just in a studio.
Why make a whole set when we can just make everything digital?
Yeah, just put it on a screen and it's all there.
Put a guy in a morph suit, slap some stickers on his face.
Yeah.
Send him off into any way you want.
Yeah, it's really amazing to see. And with that access to technology, it's sometimes quite nice that these different industries and areas, I guess, speak to each other and they coexist, don't they?
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that people actually take advice from other areas and develop their own practice, because that's how we should really do it. I mean,
that being said, it's always nice to see practical effects being done.
Yeah.
As nice and malleable special effects and CGI can be, there's nothing quite like practical effects.
Yeah, that's right.
That is just pure. It's real. It's an actual grabbable thing. You can't fake it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are faking it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. You've got the likes of an interesting area that we look at when editing is DaVinci Resolve is a particular color grading program, and it was designed by color grade artists, but they've developed the program so much it's now based for editors. So it's a program that's based for a video editor that's designed by a color grader, which basically it goes to show that different areas have different wants and needs. So there'll be different buttons, and you think, what's this button for here? And then it's for a colorist. It's not for us, but the actual interface in which they use is so much nicer and more fluid to use. Editors have actually tapped into that. I think I like that. Yeah. We should make an editing program like that.
We were looking at upgrading cameras for the company, and I remember you showing me one that had about 15 different little monitors on one screen. I don't know half of these things.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure there was a heart monitor on one of those cameras.
Yeah, it is crazy. I went into B&H Photo Video in New York, and it's, if you don't know what that is, it's one of the biggest camera stores in the world. I'm sure it is. It's monstrous. It's ridiculous. It's got everything you ever need: photo, video, drone, everything under the sun. And it's got like a system where if you say, I want this lens, they go, okay, and they type it into the iPad. And above you is like a train system where they put like a box on rails, and it takes the box all the way around. It drops into this really like pillowed box at the checkouts, and they pick it up at the checkout, scan it through, and then you pay for it. It's brilliant. You can see your package going all the way along the top, all the way along. It's fantastic. My lecturers bought a really expensive lens from there. It's and then they've got all their cameras on display, so they've got all Red and Ari and Blackmagic just there, and they've got like an object in the middle. It's like a square, and all the cameras are around in the square. They've got an object in the middle, and all the lenses are attached to all the cameras, and they're all switched on, so you can go and play and use and pull focus onto the object in the middle and see whether you like the camera or not. And then you get someone who comes up to you and goes, hi, how you doing, and he talks to you about the camera and tries to sell it you like a salesman. It's brilliant, the amount of scope you can go and look at. And there's so many daft buttons, and they go, right, what's this one for then? And they're like, oh, well, that's the temperature for the gauge for the fan and the motor of the camera. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? It's just crazy. It's the amount of stuff they go in. I find that stuff.
The emojis it sets off when it's hungry.
Yeah,
you got to feed your camera, Tamagotchi.
Yeah, gotta water it every now and again to make sure it grows like a big boy.
Could you imagine a Tamagotchi in a camera?
That'd be crazy.
You're busy trying to film and a Tamagotchi's beeping at you.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's a dumb idea.
So, actually, speaking of cameras, and then moving swiftly on from camera talk, let's have a little chat about the actual film that launched last week.
Yeah, so Ghostly X.
The Ghostly X. It was Valentine's Day last week, and we thought it'd be really appropriate to launch a romance film. Would you class it as a romance or a drama?
I'd say drama, personally.
Drama / romance. It's got a romantic. It's just all about.
I've seen people calling it romantic.
Yeah. So, if you haven't seen the actual film yet, then you can go and check it out. It's been shared on all our socials. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you can go and check out more videos on our YouTube channel. I might link it down in the description below as well.
Dude, go that extra mile. Put the link in.
I'll stick the link in. But the film is basically about a girl who is trying to overcome her ex's abusive or emotionally abusive relationship. Yes. And she can't really get this picture or this vision out of her head that he's there. He's always taunting her and bullying her and stuff like that. She tries to get set up on this date by a friend.
This impromptu date, and she goes to just kind of calm herself down, get that anxiety out in the bathroom, where she confronts the manifestation of her ex.
That's it.
Who's belittling her.
Yeah.
And she comes to terms with the fact that, no, you don't need it. You don't need him. You're better than that. It's
a really positive film in the end. It's got some kind of like negative tendencies in the middle because it obviously talks about the relationship in detail, and it's a bit I wouldn't say close to the wire, but it's just like it's an interesting topic, isn't it?
Because there are people who are going to be able to relate and will feel where this film is coming from.
And when we cast for the project, we wanted to look towards getting cast that were not only like fit for the role looks wise, but also fit for the role emotionally wise. Because obviously we know that we can get a look quite easily. We can get like a specific, oh yeah, you look like what I reckon Lizzie would look like. It's dead easy to get someone who looks like that, but it's not easy to get someone who acts like Lizzie. Because we knew that we needed somebody who was shy and timid at the start, but then as soon as she gets the advantage, she then becomes this empowered, strong woman.
It was incredible to see her.
Yeah,
that's very talented Melissa. Just bring out this very confident and I don't know what the word would be. I don't want to keep using the word empowered, but like that's what comes to mind.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, she was fantastic.
Oh, she drove the entire film home.
Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is we only shot the film in 6 hours, which is obviously a big challenge for us because we needed to make sure that we had there's quite a long monologue section that the cast needed to learn, especially between Ben and Melissa. You know, the little argument that they had. There was 2 very important scenes we needed to film. The first one with Ben being the controlling evil person, having his monologue section, and then the flip side of the end of that scene with Melissa doing the empowered.
And Ben was so good.
Monologue. Ben was fantastic as well. I don't think we had a single bad cast member that entire shoot.
No.
Which is,
I want to bring them back for another project.
Yeah. And the film went really well, and the launch of the film was really good as well. We're actually going to look at towards putting into festival circuits. This for, I guess, for the end of the year. We're going to have a look around and see where we can post it to, because we do believe that this film could potentially go that extra mile, which is great. So that's all to be.
Borderline everything with this film went right.
Yeah.
Like, every filming day went out without a hitch. We were ahead of schedule for almost everything.
Yeah.
It was nothing like Interview, where we had to change the script every 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was very dead set, wasn't it? It was locked off and sorted.
Yeah.
It's just a really nice film, as well packaged, nice polish. Everyone did their job really, really well, and then it ended up being a really good.
And we even got permissions from the Butterfly and Grasshopper to film in that gorgeous place.
Yeah.
I went to have dinner there, by the way.
Did you?
A couple of days ago. Fantastic quality food.
Really?
Oh, it's so good.
Damn.
I've never had chicken that good before.
Did they recognise you?
One of the waitresses did.
Yeah.
And I was just like, cool, don't. This is my meal.
Yeah.
I'm here for pleasure, not business.
Yeah. That's it. Not only were they like really welcoming and nice, but they also offered the assistance with filming as well. We had Chris. Yeah, it was Chris. Yeah, he played the barman, which is really cool, and he's the manager there, isn't he? So he was dead chill, dead nice. It was a really good place, really, really good place.
Beautiful atmosphere. If you get the chance to go, give it a try at least once, because I can guarantee you try it once, you're gonna be coming back for a second try.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
Not a sponsored section at all.
No, it's not, sadly.
No.
But man, I just can't get over how good the food was. Oh, it was so good. I'm gonna have to take you there at some point.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll probably have our next meeting down there or something.
Oh,
yeah.
Can we actually?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Can we record the next episode of the podcast there?
Yeah, upstairs in the atrium bit, and that'd be cool. Actually, be a nice setting actually for the film podcast, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Can you imagine every week?
Fires as well.
Being there every week filming the podcast. That'd be cool. That.
I think they'd get sick of us at some point.
Yeah. Speaking of which, actually, the podcast setup in general is coming along really well. The new show setting, because we've always wanted to make this into a video form. So that actual set design is going really well. It's an interesting process, because when designing a set, we've got to look to make sure that not only the visuals look great, so on camera, so whether the person's sat in the right part of the frame, but everything in the background has got to be accounted for. All of the color schemes have got to be accounted for. Whether the audio is good enough in the setting that we're at, it's got to be accounted for as well, because I've noticed that quite a lot that we needed to try and pad the room as much as we can as well, because otherwise it'll echo if it's too empty.
We tried we had a bit of a test attempt with recording, and it worked, but it was just something missing.
The thing is, the space itself is fine. We know that we have the space to do the filming. It's just that the background and the environment that we were in wasn't.
We want to get that nice feel to it.
Yeah, it needs to look a bit more polished and studio-y. So we're gonna make it into a proper studio setting. But I've never had to ever think about going into that much detail on a set design ever. So I'm there thinking, right, I've got my frame now. I'm sat there. What is behind my head? Is there is it photos?
Is it green screen?
Pop vinyls? Is it green screen? Yeah. Where's the logo going?
Is it the world's best boss mug I got you?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows where everything has to go in a certain place for it to be perfect, I guess. So and what I kind of find a bit I guess worrying about it is I don't want to have to change the set every month.
Yeah.
So obviously we're going to be recording multiple shows, not just this podcast. So I don't have to pull apart a set just to change shows. So we're going to have a similar set for all of the shows. So it needs to be interesting enough that people go, oh, I'm not bored of this set now. I've seen this so many times. Or maybe even we have like one wall where we film the podcast, one wall where we film the tutorials.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, maybe. Maybe. That's all to...
Heck, maybe if we have just different backgrounds, we can have a green screen change out at will.
Yeah.
We were saying earlier how CGI is brilliant now.
Yeah.
We just change the background, whatever we want. We can film in space at some point if we have a green screen.
Damn right we can. Yeah. So, moving swiftly on, we've had a little bit of chat about the first topic, which was video game and video game narratives, and the way in which video games influence us in general when we make our films. So we've also had a little bit of a chat about the notion of our wonderful The Ghostly Axe and our new set for the podcast and stuff. So now let's have a little talk about fan fiction and fan films.
You got to be real careful where you go now, Tom.
It's it could be a dark road here.
There's two places you can go with fan fiction. One of them we're allowed to talk about. The other one's going to get us demonetized very quick.
That's very true. So when a series, whether it be like a film series, a TV show, a book series, a web series, whatever, if something is created where there is a world involved, there will always be fan fiction. Fan films, spin-offs, all of that jazz. And that is, material created by us as fans that will, it's in the same universe. And it's not ever to make any money or anything like that. It's just made because
you love a world or a franchise.
One of the biggest ones is Star Wars. So, we have the Star Wars universe is massive. It goes, thousands of years before and after the film. The films that...
There's so many cool things in the Star Wars universe they don't put in the films.
Yeah. And all of that is completely free and able to explore anyway. But the likes of Disney won't invest in that kind of stuff yet anyway, because they've got their own focuses and they can only make certain amounts of stuff per year. So it kind of leaves it down to the fans to make fan stuff.
Yeah.
And it's totally legal as long as you don't try and make your own money off it. You don't try and screen it in any cinemas or anything like that.
Yeah, the moment money comes into things is where the copyright police go, hey, knock it off.
Yeah, and that's the second you try and earn from it. So as long as you know that it's a non-profit film, you can do whatever you want. And it's great. So we have a film in development, and it is a Star Wars film.
I didn't want to know if we were going to talk about it. Is it too soon to reveal the cards?
No. So it's actually called The Initiate. It's about the training that a person goes through before they want to become a Jedi or train up as a Padawan in the Jedi Order. It's actually set just after Luke sets up his training camps. And it's a topic area that...
the new trilogy and the originals.
Yes. And it's an interesting topic area because initiate training hasn't ever been touched, ever. Whenever you look towards...
and if it has, we haven't heard about it.
Yeah. So whenever you look towards fan films, you always see... there's a really good one, a Darth Maul one. There's a really good Vader one. There's a good Kenobi one as well, actually. It's all these focus on these main characters doing their thing before the films or after the films.
Oh, you should look up the one where Chewbacca fights Darth Vader. He just goes fisticuffs and just starts beating him.
Oh my god! You see, so why? I don't understand. You've got
why
this...
we haven't got the film of that. The Chewbacca film.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you've got this massive universe. Why are you focusing on the main characters from films that have already been done? They've already been done. Don't explore them. Go and find a random name, a random person, a random planet, and do about them.
Right, what you do is you go watch The Phantom Menace and you get to the pod racer scenes.
Yeah.
Then you pause at any minute and pick out any random person that is CGI in the background and go, right, we're going to make his story.
Yes, you. And then every time it cuts to the beginning of the story, it goes to the pod racing scene and it freezes frame and then zooms in. Remember me?
Yeah.
and then it goes straight into the main film.
To be fair, I'd watch a whole Star Wars film about pod racing, to be fair.
Well, there we go. So it's like unexplored sections need to be explored. There's like certain bits and pieces in that Star Wars universe that don't get touched but need to get touched. So that's what we do. So initiate training, that's what we're doing now. We're doing quite a lot of reading into, I don't know if the book's around. The book's not there. Now I've got a book, like a Jedi code book or whatever it is.
Yeah, you're reading up hard on it.
That I'm reading about, just to make sure that I get the script right, because I don't want any Star Wars nerds to fly along and lightsaber me to death.
Nerds. You are a Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, that is true. But there's moving on from Star Wars, there's the likes of the Lord of the Rings, and there's also the Hobbit, of course, and then there's I'm trying to think of it. Harry Potter, that was it. Yeah.
Harry Potter,
Doctor Who, yeah.
Supernatural. Take your pick.
An amazing amount of stuff that we can do a fan film for. Amazing amount of stuff.
As long as we don't make a profit off of it.
Yeah, and the major thing is, as long as you credit and say this is,
Yeah, at the end of the day, this belongs to J.K. Rowling's, George Lucas, whoever, Disney, probably, they own a lot.
Yeah.
To Disney owners, yeah.
They own everything. Everything, ever. They own you as well.
It's in my contract, I just didn't notice it at first.
Yeah. When you sign the contract for Worth It says Disney owns you, by the way. I know that.
You look at the little Worth It logo in the corner of the contract, and it's not a bird on the logo, it's the Disney symbol.
Yeah, it's Mickey Mouse head.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's it. It's all over, JD. It's all over. What do you think of fan films?
In general?
In general.
They are hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
You see them being made, dime a dozen, and they're either really good and you end up wanting more from whoever's made it, or they're not great, but you see the passion and you notice that that's what it's about. Someone's recorded it on their phone, they haven't had a separate audio system, they haven't got the experience, but they've got their friends and they've just made a film with some plastic toys.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine, because you've put the passion and you've shown you have that creative drive to actually give it a try.
Yeah.
That's immediately more than a good percentage of anyone's willing to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, the kids at school might call you a nerd and probably make fun of you. However, you took the first steps to your dream where everyone else is too afraid to because they might get made fun of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. There's certain people who set up full-scale companies and really go at fan films hard, and try and make it as close to the actual thing as possible. Did you ever see the Uncharted fan film?
No.
Phenomenal. It's not Nathan Fillion in. Do you know who Nathan Fillion is?
Yeah.
Big actor. He plays Drake, Nathan Drake.
That's a good casting.
It's a really good casting.
I'm thinking about it. That's really good casting.
And it is fantastic. They raised about, I think it was 25 grand to make this very, very short preview to a fan film that they want to make. And then they put their link to their, what's it called? Their donation page.
GoFundMe.
Whatever it is, yeah. Whichever. Kickstarter, that was it, yeah. They put their link to the Kickstarter at the end of that film, and it's got like 20 odd million views, and they've got loads of money for it now. Loads of money to make the full film. I don't know whether they're actually pursuing it or not because of copyright issues and all that jazz, because I imagine that Naughty Dog will have them for it, because it's now funded and it's now something that's not, it's gone away from a fan film and more into a professional production, so they might have to get
like we said, the second money gets into it, someone's lawyer will be at your door.
And it was like, I clicked on it thinking, a fan film for Uncharted. Wow, that's going to be cool. I'll watch that. So I opened it up thinking it's going to be some kind of like, amateur thing, expecting the worst, basically. It starts off with a drone shot of the desert that goes down and tracks along a convoy of vehicles coming in to this massive complex. And I was thinking, oh, there's a lot of money gone in this. Holy cow. Wow. Some things are so impressive. It's so impressive what fans can make. And those are the fans that you need to, like production companies to look at and say, man, we need to pick you up.
Yeah.
We need someone like you to work with us, or something like that.
Fan films are incredible for experience and exposure.
Yeah.
Because it shows you can work with someone else's IP, someone else's projects, but it also shows what you're capable of there and then.
Mm-hmm. It's like saying to people, or saying to a company, let me show you how good I am. Let me show you what I can do. Look here, I've done this for free. I can work for you if you want me to work for you.
It's the weirdest thing because it makes me think of when you just finished school or sixth form or college and you try and get a job and they say, hey, you need work experience, and you're sat there going, well, I need the job for the work experience. This is the work experience. You're doing the job for free. No one likes doing it for free. That being said, in this industry, this is what, if you are passionate about it, you care deeply about it, you won't mind. Because this is the first step to getting your dream job where you want to be.
Yeah. And it shows you're willing to go the extra mile to get there. That's what Worth It are doing right now. It's what we're doing right now. We're doing everything for free.
12 and 12.
12 and 12 is all for free. No profit, nothing. Just to try and get our name out there and try and get us out there.
God, I can't believe I'm not making a penny from this.
You'll have worked almost every single day of the week for an entire year for free.
And legally it counts as volunteering at best.
But that's with the hope that...
Shout out to my lawyer so the tax man doesn't come after me.
Yeah. But that, that's with the intention that next year you'll be in full-time work for Worth It.
We will have this beautiful shiny CV to show to any company and say, please give us a lot of money and we'll make you more money.
Fingers crossed.
We'll make you start real shiny.
But yeah. So that is actually it for the Worth It podcast for today.
Oh, we are time.
Yeah, we are actually done. Thank you very much for coming along, JD, for this week.
Thank you for having me as always.
No problem at all.
I'm going to go have a nap.
Yeah, good idea, my friend. So if you did enjoy today's podcast, then of course we do have a whole host of other episodes available on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, or wherever this goes up to. And also on YouTube. We do have plenty more coming out soon. Every single week on a Wednesday we'll have the Worth It podcast out. So if you did enjoy that, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the follow button on Spotify. And of course, stay tuned to our social media channels for more information. Remember that we do also have other videos and other episodes on different topic areas and stuff on the YouTube channel too, like our tutorials and also like our DIY series that's coming. We've got a nice documentary that we're filming on Thursday that should be out next week. And then also every single month we have one film coming out as part of our 12 and 12 project. So yeah, stay tuned for more content. Plenty more on its way. Thank you very much for listening along, guys.
And Tom, don't forget, you need to watch Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler.
Yes, and I'm going to watch Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler before he mentions it again in next week's podcast.
You better. I'm going to hold it to you.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.